ओम ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रीहरिं परमानंदम उपदेष्टारमीश्वरम् व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां कारणं तं नमाम्यहम्। Now we are in 15 steps of Nitidhyasanam. And from that we have already discussed Yama, Niyama and Tyaga. While discussing Tyaga, we came to a point that nothing to give up, but I have to negate the superimposed universe. Continuously, I start negating the superimposed universe is called real Tyagam. And in order to achieve that Tyagam, the ultimate Tyagam, we need to do external Tyagam also. That's why, to the extent you give freedom to others, to that extent you are a free person. If you hold on to objects, hold on to people, hold on to power, position, or your role, that takes care of your ego, that enriches your ego. How can you become free from those objects? Because your ego indeed binds you. That's why they say very beautifully, based on the Sangha, that's why we look at the second meaning, based on the Sangha, the association, Ranga, the coloring takes place. It's a very nice way they present. So based on Sangha, you will have Ranga. The coloring will take place. I can give you examples. They say very nicely. If the ant gets associated with a flower, now goes to the head of the Lord, or when in the garland, now it is in the body of the Lord, indirectly worshipped. And if the same ant gets associated with the earth, that too dirty things, definitely people will step on that ant. So the same ant depends upon where it gets associated. And our association makes a big impact in our life. Again, I'm repeating the same thread. We have different examples called Parasamani. So there is a typical, unknown jewel that when it comes in contact with anything, including the iron, that iron becomes gold. Because this is very, presentation, because this is the teaching and teacher. We give this example all the time. Now, what I'm trying to highlight here is the iron, when it comes in contact with parasamani, a typical jewel, that becomes gold by mistake. If the lemon, or I would rather say by mistake, if the milk comes in contact with lemon, milk gets spoiled. Just observe this example, how this association creates a different impact in life. But what happens to common people? They just get associated, thinking that association will be helpful, useful. Like, remember the old example, a sadhu gets into Ganga thinking that one blanket is coming, and that to winter. Something black is coming, so third blanket. The example, hope you remember. Now, when he gets into to pull the blanket, now he is being pulled. And finally discovers it is not blanket, but it is a bear, Himalayan bear, lazy. Now travel from one place to another, that fellow has jumped inside the Ganges. Same thing also association. Some of our insecurity, some of our fancies. Remember, fancy is nothing that is in the form of what? Insecurity. Today, whatever fancy you have, it is nothing but unaddressed insecurity. And moreover, because of fancy or insecurity, when you are attracted, when you are dragged, the best example we say, like these flies, how they get attracted towards the fire. And they can say, look, this is my natural instinct. My soul is calling. You understand? My soul is calling. I must go. I must get associated towards these bright things because it's very elevating, amazing. Then finally, what happens? However, in order to handle the attachment, Tyagam is being highlighted. That's why in every aspect of my life, some way or other, Tyagam to be incorporated. That's why we have all these cultural practices where Tyagam is part of our daily life. Or else, you know better what will happen to our life. Continuing. Or else, the next one is called Maunam, which is not part of Ashtanga Yoga, but Adi Shankaracharya has taken up very seriously this. Please. Now, Yasmad Bacho Nivartante Aprapya Manasa Saha Yan Maunam Yogi Virgamyam Tad Bhavet Sarvada Buddha. So before going to Maunam, if you really remember all our posts that few days back, we had posted this that I'm trying to go up. My life is so different. Oh God, sorry. So I thought, let me go to. If you remember this, the term Maunam that we use, generally known as what? Called silence. So that means maintaining silence is called Maunam. There is no doubt in it. But it has got different meanings in different levels that one need to understand very carefully. The first, this popular meaning, because I remember when we were children, so we were asked, do Maunam. And especially in the schools, okay? The teacher will come. And especially when the teachers, they want to discuss among themselves something, that time, next class, everybody should become silent, Maunam, okay? So that they can gossip or they can do whatever. But it did not create any impact in us. This is the first thing I would like to bring it. Why this happens? That also we need to look at very carefully. Because we look at Maunam differently in different levels. The common Maunam that we call as Apekshika Maunam means that is very relative. This is the first thing we need to understand. So, which is nothing but called absence of silence. Being absence of silence, it is also opposite to silence. That means if I start talking, now the silence is broken. So when this silence is broken, definitely this apekshika maunam is also broken. So that's why you say this wordly sound, vyavaharika maunam, will be affected by vyavaharika shabda. But remember, before understanding the real maunam, basic thing is this apekshika maunam to be maintained. Why and how? Then I'll go to next meaning. Because the second meaning and third meaning of Maunam is entirely different. First, we see when I am talking, you might have observed, especially many people when they chat nowadays. You understand? No thinking involved. Those days, there is no chatting. If the person opens the mouth, you cannot stop that person. So what you have to do is, even if you drink water, you do some changes so that you are tired, even if that fellow or felly will not understand. Now, with that person, can you make that person to understand anything? In fact, those people get hurt very fast. A person who talks aggressively, remember, a person who talks aggressively will get hurt unnecessarily. To that person, you cannot help other than saying, you are great, you are good, only you have to support. If you want to save yourself, okay? If you want to protect yourself, I do that, okay? And the worst part is when I do, other people start, commenting, Swamiji, how come you are supporting that person, not to me? You understand? Because there are people who don't have any other job, just, start watching others, okay? That's why, first thing I would like to highlight with all of you, decide a given time, at least to start with 30 minutes. I would rather say 45 minutes, right? 45 minutes in a day to maintain Maunam. Doesn't matter. Even if night 12 o'clock, if you decide, I am okay with it. So you can say, Swamiji, I decided 12 to 12:45. So let me sleeping time, I'll do Maunam. But again, I'm trying to tell you, absolutely no problem for me. But make sure that you are continuing all the time. Do you know what will happen? The day you decide 12 to 12:45, I'll do Maunam in the night, same night, you will wake up in between. And when you go to the bathroom or some other people are there, you are not supposed to talk. And moreover, you should not make unnecessary noise. Okay, there are people, they do Maunam, okay? I have seen some people, but they will be holding a pen and paper, a slate. One Swami was there. So he did Maunam. He's amazing Swami, okay? So he did something wrong, beat somebody badly, and he wanted to do Prayaschitam. Because the villager came and all these things, they said, we'll give to the police. They said that. He said, no, I want to do Prayaschitam. It is my mistake, whatever I did. So I'll do Maunam for 1 year. I have seen the Swami, okay? So why he did Maunam, nobody knows, okay? But this is the background. So what you will do, you will be holding always one slate and chalk. Keep writing, and giving. So is this Maunam? It's just cheating people. But finally he was called, oh, Swamiji maintained Maunam for so long. And when he broke so-called Maunam, there was a celebration, okay? So all drama you can see in the name of Swami, okay? However, that's not our point. So point is here, when you do Maunam, not only you need to close your mouth, also observing how your mind is chattering. What makes you, what pushes you to open your mouth unnecessarily? Then only you will be able to see your thinking pattern. And I have observed, when you do Maunam, your quality of communication increases or becomes different. If really you want to communicate, especially if you are a speaker or if you are in a field, in a position where you are supposed to communicate, including you are doing business, anywhere, you need to do Maunam. And parents, of course, they have to do Maunam, or else children will teach you to keep quiet, okay? Then only when there is apekshika Maunam, called relative silence, You start observing the change in you. Then only you will be able to understand. Second type of Maunam is called Brahman in absolute standpoint, Paramarthika Drishtya. From the level of absolute standpoint, the Brahman is Maunam, silence. Do you know who I am? Because in silence there is no sound. And interestingly, Brahman is not affected by any noise. It is free from what? All indriyas, including back indriya speech. So because it is free from all indriyas, all sense organs, definitely it cannot be disturbed. Why? We give this example so that I'm giving the things, then it will become easier to understand this verse. How it is being said, if you observe a person who is sleeping in a silent zone, but starts dreaming crowded place where a lot of noise is there, and he is or she is part of that noise. Now, will the dream noise be able to disturb the waking silence? Definitely not. Because it's another level of reality. And thank God. Imagine if the dream crowd starts getting into your home. It's another disaster. So how this happens, here also same thing. That the Vyavaharika Sabda, this is a transactional word that we are using, cannot affect the Paramarthika Brahma, the absolute Brahma. It's another order of reality. This is the second type. That's why to understand the second type of Maunam, first Maunam is most important. Third Maunam, we say very carefully that, remember, again, first Maunam is important because we look at this whole universe is the combination of Brahman and Maya. So when we say Brahman and Maya, that means what? We use this word very carefully. That Brahman is something cannot be defined, cannot be described. That's what here is being going to say. Yasmad vacha nivartante aprapya manasa saha. And when this Brahman cannot be explained, defined, but at the same time, with the minimum words, carefully used words, it can be defined. That's why the Shastra of Parampara comes, not self-made Swami. That's why we say very carefully, maybe Buddha might have understood what is God. He might have realized, you can use the word realization here, but because he did not have the methodology of teaching with him, when people asked him what is God after his enlightenment, he did not have word to express. He kept quiet. Finally, what happened? How people started interpreting. Buddha says there is no God. And later on, the Buddhism, which was nothing but part of Hinduism, in fact, Buddha was Hindu and he spread Buddhism. What they did, they destroyed all the gods and put Buddha as God. And in present day, in Buddhism in India, you'll be shocked and surprised to see not only Buddha is God, one of the person who headed our constitution called Baba, now he has become God. Amazing, India. So all these things happened because this Maunam was not understood carefully. That's why when you don't understand Maunam, the purpose of Maunam, you do Maunam, what happens? You become a devil. And example, I told you that Swami maintaining 1 year Maunam, and while breaking the Maunam, celebration. The Swamiji is breaking his Maunam. Why did he do Maunam? Don't ask. All the devils, Ravana, etc., also did proper Maunam, which we cannot think of. How? Brahman also anirvachanyam. Maya also anirvachanyam. Both are what? Indescribable. That means beyond our verbal description. But what happens? Even though it is, then what happened? Definitely it is explainable through the proper words. That's why parampara. Because Shastra becomes Pramana. Not just taking, oh, this is beyond words. That's why close your eyes. It does not going to help you either. And we say these are the three meanings of Maunam. And of course, we say if you want to understand, especially this second Maunam, you need the help of third Maunam Shastra. And for that, we say the fourth Maunam, that maintaining Maunam, where we say Bak Vyapara Varjanam Iti. So deciding not to open your mouth, which I started, so that it will allow you to start introspecting. The introspection starts when you close your mouth. Do you know why? Because mouth is a place where both Gyanendriya and Karmendriya both are there. It's a very powerful tool. So back, the speech is Karmendriya. So don't ask me what is Karmendriya, okay? Still I'm saying organ of actions, okay? And Gyanendriya means organs of perception. The tongue, one of the most important thing to taste. And you know, in order to taste, everybody goes crazy. That's why, you know, day by day you become fat, okay? However, nothing wrong in it. So he says, look, this is what we need to look at this very carefully. With this background, let us look at the verse so that it becomes easier. Bachah tat aprapya manasah sah yasmat nivartante yat maunam yogivihi gamyam buddha sarvada tat bhave. So now he says beautifully. So this yogivihi, so yogivihi means by the yogis, by the Gyanis. Yogi means here nothing but Gyani. So this Gyani, what they do? He says, look, yan maunam. So yat maunam. That means which maunam, gamyam, that which is attainable. What they do, and what is that? Pachaha aprapya manasa saha. Because this maunam is something where there is no word, the second Maunam. And mind also cannot reach. It cannot be reached through mind. Why? If mind starts thinking, that's why you cannot do meditation, what so-called meditation through your mind. This mindfulness, all these are, gimmicks. Yes, that is not mindfulness, but it is mindfulness. Perfect. Okay, remember this. Not mindfulness, but mindfulness. So you fool your mind. So every time you find out a new trick, how to fool your mind. Anyway. So here it says, if something is attainable by the mind, that becomes object. That means it becomes prameya. So if it is prameya, that means the object of knowledge. That means subject to arrive, subject to depart. There is arrival, there is departure. So Shastra highlights, I am not object of knowledge, I am the subject. Now me being subject is called aprameya. So when I am aprameya, definitely mind cannot reach aprameya. So wherever mind reaches, it becomes object of that thought or thinking process. But I am interestingly thinker. It is like mirror. So mirror can reflect anything and everything. But can mirror reflect that mirror itself? It is not possible. So mind can, please understand, mind can think, mind can know being location, anything and everything. But will that mind be able to know the mind? That's why you go to a psychologist to know the mind, okay? So whether that psychologist make you to know your mind or destroy your mind, don't ask, okay? That you know better. Because the psychologists are very dearer to me, okay? I love them, okay? That's why, because bringing them my class, without bringing them to the class, my day is not complete, okay? But remember, I love them and they love me like anything. So anywhere I'll tell you, including in this class also, there is one psychologist, okay? What can I do? However, coming back, this joke apart. And that's why this Maunam to be maintained. And when this is what is to be done, now yogis starts maintaining it. And of course, is going to bring two more verses related to this Maunam, where he says, Bachah yasmat nivartante tad vaktum kena shakyate prapanchah yadi vaktavyah sapi sabda vivarjitah itiva tad bhavet maunam satam sahaj sangitam kiram maunaptu balanam prayuktam brahmavadivihi, which actually we have talked nothing too much, but understanding that first level of Maunam, that which is opposite to sound, then maintaining that which is the last Maunam, means where you decide, I will not open my mouth, back vyapara varjanamiti. And when you do that, based on that, what happens to you? Then slowly you start understanding, called paramarthika Maunam, paramarthika silence, called Brahman. And there is something called Paramarthika Maunam. In order to understand Paramarthika Maunam, you need the help of Shastra. So to understand Aprameyam, And you need the help of pramanam called Shastra. For that, you need also relative Maunam. So that means relative Maunam is most of the important thing in my life. That's why in Vedanta, when we take the class, we make everybody to keep quite attentive. Not, some of the people, while we having Vedanta class, they will have tea, somebody will have bhajan, somebody japam will be doing, you understand? I'm giving you different groups. And somebody will do exercise, stretching the leg, doing this, doing that, and phone call going up, Radhe, Radhe, Hare, Hare. You understand? Remember, this is not going to be useful at all. We will see. Om Om Punnamada Punnamitam Punna Punnamutechyate Punnasya Punnamadaya Punnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, all of you.